welcome to this verbling class. My name is Teacher Amy, and today's class is going to be mostly a speaking class. We have got an article that we're going to have a look at, and the theme or the topic for today is skills that you need at your work that are not related to your job. So these kind of things could be anything really. There's a lot of different skills that could be out there. Obviously, you know, if you're a doctor, you need to know about the human body. But what other skills do you need that are really, really important that maybe other people don't realize? What kind of skills do you need if you're a teacher? Obviously, you need to know the subject that you're teaching, but what other skills are really important? So that's what we're going to be talking about today, among other things related to jobs and work. So if you would like to join us, then come along in. While we're waiting for everybody, what we'll do is I'll just let you know that there are a few useful web pages that you might like to check out if you have a few minutes to spare. And these are basically where you can find out more information about the teachers. So you've probably seen the Verbling homepage and explored each section to see who's available. But if you do want to find out about one of the teachers, the best place to go is to their teacher page. And you can see mine in the chat box if you'd like to look at that. You'll see that you can watch some videos. You can see their timetable and their schedule, and most importantly, probably, you can write a message. So, excuse me, if you're interested in attending the classes or finding out about one of the teachers, that's probably the best place to go. And if you are a Facebook person, you might want to consider following some of us on Facebook, just so you can keep your eye on what's going on as you go through your week. If you check Facebook often, it might be a good way to keep you on track for your English. So, with that behind us, let's say hello to our lovely students for today. And we're going to find out, first of all, what everybody's job is. So that's our task for the first part of the class. So let's say hi to Anna first. How are you today, Anna?
Hello.
Nice to see you.
I'm happy to see you and to be in your class. I'm a bit tired because it's a humpy day, you know.
It's what?
Humpy day, Wednesday.
A humpy
Humpy day. Yes, American people call Wednesday humpy day.
A hump day.
Yes, because it's in the middle of the week. You know.
Ah, okay. I've never heard that before, Anna. In the UK, hump has a different meaning. Which
Yeah,
I'll type in the. You know?
But it's because of the camel's back, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
the most tiring day of the
So
week.
it's like getting over the little hump, and then you go to the end of the week.
Yes.
I understand. Has it been a long day then? Have you feel like you've done a lot today?
Today I went to a lecture because yes, I had to attend. It was quite boring about the biological garbage, the way to get rid of it and safety in the job environment. A lot of things, how to report an accident, but it's mandatory, you know. When the city hall offer those things, we have to go, and they give us a certificate. They call it a benefit, continuous education. But there was an upside. The breakfast was great, and I saw my colleagues. The coffee break, sorry, not the breakfast, the coffee break.
So the coffee break was the best part of the day. That's often the case for me, funnily enough,
Yeah,
Anna.
because we could catch up with one another, you know,
Yeah.
and
Socialize.
socialize, and there were delicious things there, a huge table, so.
Excellent. So that is one of the perks from having to attend these slightly boring lectures. Well, I'm glad. So Anna, I'm going to type everybody's profession into the chat box. So could you tell everybody what your profession is?
I am a dentist, but not a common dentist because after I graduated, I studied for 3 months and I took a test to become a civil servant, and I work in a strategy from the government called ESF. So I am a dentist like a family dentist, because I work in a attached territory.
Okay. So I'll try and describe that as best as I can. Maybe that's a good
Here we
description.
call dentist from the ESF.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wonderful. Well, I've kind of put it more descriptive, just so that people who arrive and not sure what that is can see that you're sort of maybe a public dentist related to government work.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you are welcome.
All right, wonderful to have you, Anna. Welcome to the class. Let's say hello to Julian next. How are you, Julian?
Hi, Amy. How are you? Fine, fine, fine. Very fine. And you?
Very fine. I love to say very fine. Fine is usually just like, meh. So if you're very fine, it's like, oh, that's unusual. I'm very fine too, Julian.
Okay, it's amazing.
Amazing. Why are you very fine / amazing? Anything particular happened, or is it just that you're feeling in a good mood today?
No, it's just a feeling for this day and all days of the week because
Oh, you just feel
I don't know,
positive about
maybe
everything.
yes, it's a positive.
Great.
For-
That's good news, Julian. So tell us, can you tell us what is your profession?
well, my profession is chemist, but really, now I am instructor in a technical institute here in Colombia.
Hmm.
And I am teaching chemist, but related with the environment control and weather management.
Okay. Weather management, did you just say?
Yeah.
Okay, that's such an interesting sounding job. So I'm going to put both of those things. And let me know if I've got it wrong, but I'm going for it to be succinct, if I can. All right, wonderful to see you, Julian, and welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Mariam, how are you today?
Fine, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are those boots coming along? Have you been wearing them?
I started, but don't have a yet. I guess I just fail of buying boots that much early. More normal shoes than this puffy boots, but I'm waiting for a snow.
You're
waiting
hoping
for
for
a snow and more rain.
So you'll look out the window in the morning and you see that it's bright sunshine and you go, oh, not again! I can't wear my puffy boots today.
Exactly. And last year I really needed that, but I couldn't afford to buy it last year. This year I bought it in advance, but no.
Now the weather's too good.
Yes.
You can't win, Mariam. You just can't win. Well, I'm sure that the weather won't disappoint you and it will end up being really cold and horrible soon, so don't worry. What is your job, Mariam?
Well, I'm an architect, but I supposed to teach in a school, so I will be a design studio instructor. Yeah, I'm doing my PhD right now, but in future I was an architect. Then right now I'm doing my PhD, so I'll be a teacher.
Okay, so let's put architect / teacher. Is that okay?
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Raphael, your turn. Hello, how are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm okay. Thanks for asking. You?
I'm great, thank you. And how is life in Rio at the moment? Are you doing well?
Very difficult. Very problems here in the city, and city is crowded. Lots of works out there. But anyway, it's life. Life in a big city is always complicated.
True. Have you been on any trips lately?
Yes, yes. I recently was in a trip. I don't want to say a trip, but I had to it's a kind of work I have to perform out in an offshore or rig, so
Yeah.
it's related to my job. So I had to stay out of touch for some days.
Mhm. Okay, well, it sounds like a regular Raphael. Anything exciting or particularly great happened lately?
Mm, Unfortunately, no. Just the same old, same old.
Well, don't worry, Raphael. The end of the year is coming. It'll be Christmas. Maybe something exciting will happen. Or maybe it's good to just have a normal life with not too much stress. So I've already spoken to you about your job before, so I know, I think, pretty much what you do. But could you explain to everybody what is your job?
I'm an electrical engineer.
Great. And what exactly is that? Can you give us a tiny bit more detail? So you mentioned that you have to go to oil rigs. What do you do there?
Yes, I have to perform inspections there to check if their installations, if their services are recording with the plan or according with the project, and the standards, if they are obeying the safety standards and the best practical of solution.
Excellent. Thank you. Nice explanation. So I've put electrical engineer / inspector, basically. So
Okay.
you're kind of an inspector. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Raphael. Welcome. Wilson, hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you again.
Okay, nice
How
to
are
see you
you?
too. Fine, and you?
Yeah, I'm
Working,
good.
but
Thank you,
I'm feeling
Wilson.
well. What?
Excellent. You're working, but you're feeling well.
Well, yes, that's it. The end
Excellent.
of the day. The end of the day, English class. Very good.
Good way to finish off the day, right, Wilson?
Yes, yes.
And what have you been doing today? Has it been a busy day?
Yes, yes. It's always a busy day. I work, I'm a IT manager and a lot of things, many people to manage, so it was a busy day, a common busy day.
Okay. Well, there you go. You've given me your job. So, an IT manager, and whereabouts do you work? Do you work for a big company or?
Now, nowadays I work for a consultant company,
Mhm.
and then we work for big companies, okay?
Wonderful. Okay, so we've started to get quite a range of different jobs here. So there we go. There's Wilson. Welcome, Wilson. Good to see you.
Okay, thank you.
So who should we say hello to next? Let's say hi to Carlos. How are you, Carlos?
Hello, Amy. How are you? I'm fine.
Good, thank you. Great, we're both fine.
That's good.
Have I met you before, Carlos?
I don't think so.
Well,
I think
hello.
that's
It's nice to
this is
meet
the
you.
first time. Nice to meet you too.
Where are you from?
I'm from Barcelona, Spain.
Oh, what a great place to be from. You lucky thing, Carlos. Are you living
Thank
there
you very
right
much.
now?
Yes, I'm here right now.
And what's it like? Is the weather getting bad or is it still quite okay?
Well, it's okay-ish.
Not too bad? Wonderful.
Not too bad.
Barcelona is such an awesome place. I've only been there once, but I went just before Christmas and it was so warm and lovely. Oh, I wanted to stay there and live there forever. So, tell us about your
Yes.
job, Carlos. What do you do?
Well, I'm a kind of software engineer.
Okay.
A kind
Tell us a
of
bit more.
because I don't really develop software, but I do some other things also.
Right. So, what are the other things?
Well, mainly speaking to people to
Mhm.
know what they want to be developed
Okay.
for raising up their jobs.
So you're sometimes the person who finds out the customer's needs, and then you don't always actually design the software yourself.
Exactly.
Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to put a kind of software engineer.
Yeah.
And you can expand on that later for us, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. All right, we've got a good range of stuff. We've got some practical jobs, we've got some computer jobs. Let's keep going. We'll say hello to Ksenia. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. Thank
Wonderful. So you've had a day off today, I see.
you. I'm not. in Russia. All people in Russia actually have.
And where are you, Ksenia?
I'm
You're
working.
in Russia, but you
I
work
don't
because you're self-employed, right?
Yes.
I understand. Every time there's a public holiday here, I'm usually working because it makes no difference to me.
Yes, I feel greedy.
Yeah. So, what did you do today? What work did you do?
Actually, I do artificial nails. To a
Such an
girl.
unusual one. Okay, Ksenia is an artificial nail what? Artist?
Designer.
Designer.
Artist.
Okay, I like design better. That sounds great. Is that what you did today?
Yes.
And also, I'm sure this is probably a busy day for you in actual fact, because if other people have the day off, then they've got time to get their nails done, right?
Yes, but actually I have my husband's birthday, so I had to cook.
Ah, wonderful. What did you cook for him?
Just salad and the cake.
Ah, you made a cake. What kind of cake did you make?
Actually, it was very delicious. It just first stuffed with some kind of bread. Then I don't know how to say. It's just a sweet substance, but I'm sure you don't have in your country because it's only Russian things. Then bananas, and then wrapped milk. How to say not wrapped? It's fat milk, but we should mix it in a high level. Cream, yes, cream.
Whipped cream. Oh my gosh, bananas and whipped cream. It sounds like it couldn't fail.
Yes.
Yum. Your lucky husband. Did he have a nice day?
Yes, I have. I had.
That's awesome. Okay. So we've got your job down there. Welcome, Ksenia. Good to see you. Let's go to Natasha.
Hello, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Natasha. How was your day today?
Oh, I have had a regular day without something special deals, I suppose. It was okay, thank you.
Kind of an average day in the life of Natasha today.
I'm a doctor and I am professor of medicine at Medical University, and also I'm a senior researcher in Republican Scientific Practical Center of Hygiene. It's like a public health in your country, I suppose.
Okay, so that's a lot of different aspects to your job.
No.
No?
It's the same. It's the same. Yeah, no. It's the same part of job, but I study my students about things what I do on my first job. I mean, what I do like research. So I suppose that it's good practice for me and good knowledge for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. All right, so I've put sort of a few things down, Natasha, and later on you can decide what to go for when you want to speak about it. So that's interesting because we've got now two medical people. That's Anna and you as well. I don't think anyone else has to do with medicine. And then last but not least, Sana. Hello.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Wonderful. How's your day been? Have you had a busy one?
How are you? Hello, can you hear me? I lost you.
Ah, okay, yeah. It seemed like you were cutting out a bit then as well. So how was your day, Sana? What did you do today? Oh, she's gone again.
Hello?
Yep, sorry.
I'm here.
Tell me again.
Yeah, I'm a stay-home mother.
Wonderful. How many children do you have, Sana? Are you still there?
Hello?
I think it might be a good idea, Sana, if you try and maybe just leave the class and come back in, just to refresh your browser. Might be good, because I can't hear you consistently.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Wonderful. Okay. We'll see you again in a moment.
Sure. Okay.
All right, excellent. So we managed to get your job before you left. That was great. Hopefully we'll see Sana again in a second. And I'm just going to explain what we're going to do for the rest of the class. So I've got a link for you. And this article really is for you to use as a resource. We're not going to read it through together today. What we are going to do is we're going to spend a few minutes just preparing a short presentation about our work. And we're not going to focus so much on the job itself. What we are going to focus on are the skills that you need to do your job that have nothing to do with the actual job. So if I took Anna as an example, I actually used this in my class description. Anna's a dentist, and obviously we know that dentists have to know about teeth and be able to do fillings and all that kind of thing. But what are the other skills that you need as a dentist that maybe you didn't even realize before you started working as a dentist? Maybe they're social skills. Maybe they're writing skills, maybe they're creativity skills. They could be any kind of skill. If you have a look at the article that I've shared, you'll get some ideas about different kinds of skills. And what I would like you to do is to give a short presentation about these different types of skills that are needed in your job that we might not know about. And just talk a little bit about them and why you need these skills, and give us some examples of when you would need these skills, when you need to use them. Raphael's an inspector. Maybe he needs to be resilient because everybody hates him because he goes around telling them that they've done their jobs wrong. Only kidding, Raphael. So maybe you need some extra special social skills. If you're a teacher, I guess this is something that comes into play. Poor Raphael says it's true. I look forward to hearing more about that, Raphael. So I'm going to give you guys about sort of 5 to 10 minutes to prepare a little presentation, and then we're going to start in order of appearance. So Anna, if you don't mind, we're going to go first with you and then go through the list. Then Carlos, Julian, Ksenia, Mariam, Natasha, Raphael, Sana, hopefully she'll come back, and then Wilson. And you guys have got 3 minutes because there's 9 of us, so it should be about half an hour to present your skill set to us. So feel free to say whatever you'd like. I'm going to show you the article. I'll give you a few minutes to prepare, and then we'll get going. So off you go. If you have any questions, just ask. Sana, welcome back. What we're doing basically is we're just taking a few minutes to prepare a short presentation about some of the skills that you need to use at your work that are not related to your actual job. For you, maybe they could be anything, because being a stay-home mother, I think, requires millions of different skills. So feel free to choose whatever you like, okay?
Yeah, but I wasn't able to finish myself. Actually, I was working as a teacher before, but I left my job after the birth of my second child. So
Wonderful.
I may be joining next year. Yeah, I was teaching maths in my school. So yeah. So
All right, so you might want to.
Yeah, I was saying that these skills are as important to me as to anybody else.
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. So feel free to choose what you'd like to talk about. You might want to talk about teaching or being a mother or both. Okay?
Sure.
Wonderful. We will see you soon. We're going to get started in about 3 or 4 minutes, but you're going to be at the end of the group, so if you need a little bit more time, then you can carry on while Anna or Carlos are speaking, okay?
Oh, okay. So where can I access this file?
Just have a look in the chat box. I'll repost it for you, just in case you missed it.
Sure.
Right. Anna, how far away are you from being ready?
I can start if you would like to.
All right. Brilliant.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You're just gonna go for it.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Off we go.
Okay. So I have to be empathetic because well, people fear dentists a lot. And
Yep.
yes, I shared a video on the Google chat box. It's very funny. Ah, my gosh. And of course, um, sometimes they want to let off steam with me as if I were a psychologist, you know. They go there not just to get a treatment. Sometimes they wanna talk about their problems, and I have to give full attention to what they are saying. I have to have a lot of persuasion because I have to persuade others to change their habits, their behaviors to make them more conscious about the self-care. Otherwise, I would be drying ice, can I say?
Yes.
All right. Well, management of material resources.
Okay.
Because I work for the Brazilian government, and sometimes some things are missing there, and I have to get by and do my best. I have to be very patient, and I have to love children because I have to go to elementary schools to teach them about their oral health, and for me it's very enjoyable. I do love children. They are less complicated than adults.
True.
Yes, I really love them. I wish the world would be made of children. What else? The ability to work in a team because I work with a doctor, a nurse, a dental assistant, a nurse assistant, and people who are working as a community liaisons. But I have to confess that I don't get along with everyone there. But I try to be civil at least, you know. Some people I like a lot, some people I don't, and I know they don't like me either. But life is this way.
So funny. But true, absolutely true. I'm sure this is like a lot of us have to deal with this kind of thing. But yeah, you've mentioned some really things that I never would have imagined for a dentist. Like, you know, yeah, really interesting. Thank you for starting us off. And I know that you have a slightly different dentist job, as you mentioned before. So cool. All right, Carlos, your turn. Off you go.
Okay, I'll do my best. In my case, as I said before, I have to talk to people frequently, attending meetings and so on and so forth, where people try to explain what they want or what they would like to have. And sometimes they don't know how to explain it correctly or clearly. So I think I have to be really good at understanding what people want to explain, even though they sometimes don't explain it clearly.
Yeah.
I think as well that I have to be, or if you were in my position, you would have to be really good at taking or having coffees. Because
Why?
Because in my position, some decisions are taken or made. I don't know.
Made.
Some decisions are made while having coffees.
How many coffees do you have to have per day, Carlos, would you say?
Well, I think as an average, I have 4 or 5 a day.
Wow, that is amazing. Oh my goodness. So it's a kind of a place where you can talk and make deals.
Yes, exactly. and it happens frequently. So or you are prepared or you are going to miss things.
Either you're prepared or you're going to miss things.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
And finally, the last thing I think you have to have in my position is something to do after work, to clear your mind, because we spend many hours in front of a computer and with programming languages and so on. And if you don't have any other things to do, you are fucked.
Thank you, Carlos. Okay, very entertaining presentation, I must say. They are definitely not points that I would have imagined. I especially like having coffees. I think I need to change jobs, you know, because I really like drinking coffee. But maybe not if it was like 5 or 6 a day. Awesome. Thanks, Carlos. And lovely English, may I say, too. Okay, Julian, your turn.
Okay, I think in my case, like structure, uh, we need different skills, but maybe the most important is to make decisions in the right time.
Okay.
Because in sometimes when you are in the class or you are in activity with a group, some cases the group you start to lose the group, and you have to make a decision at this point, because you lost the group. Is hard to take the control again the group.
Take the control back.
Take the control back, and this is important. And the other is when you take a decision, when you make a decision with the group, you have to still in the decision. You couldn't change decision for time, or because if you change your decision frequently, the group lost the truth in you, lost the respect of you. That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part is when you start with a group and you have to identify the not the wrong people, the hyperactive people, or the people that is not connected with your matter, your subject, and put put it on under your strategy to get these people the stellar I don't say that it's the performance into the class.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do that, they have the press the group on their shoulders.
Yeah, the group pressure.
The group pressure and keeping calm.
Julian, I love your points. I can definitely feel very strongly that I agree with you about the whole teaching thing. Actually, with verbling, I find it really different because everybody's individually wanting to join the class. But if if you're teaching a group at university or like school or something, it's so different. So couldn't agree more. Awesome points. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, it's Ksenia's turn. So Ksenia, this is going to be interesting because I don't really know much about your job, and I imagine it's relaxing and fun. Maybe not, though. Tell me.
Not at all. The first, it's time management, because I have to do a comfortable schedule, and for me and for my clients. So I have to work in the morning, in the day, and in the evening, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I'm a very punctual person, and I make my clients to be on time, and I don't wait more than 5 or 10 minutes, and if they are late, I always go home and I don't take them after it.
Mm-hmm. So you're strict.
I'm very strict. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
very strict. Then I should be creative, because almost everyone don't know what color, what pictures on the nails, what shape of nails. So it's very difficult, to create every time a new design.
Yeah.
And I think empathy, because I have almost 100 clients, and they are all different, and they have different life, different style of life, and sometimes I didn't understand them at all. But I should deal with them, I should speak with them. But if they are very ignorant or rude, so I after one meetings, I don't take them to. So if I don't like a person, yes, I don't. But
don't take them on. You don't take them on.
Yes, don't take them on. Actually, that's all.
Okay, so that's actually fascinating, because I suppose what you're saying really is actually a really personal job, because you're right, you're doing somebody's nails, which is like their body, that is something that's really personal because of their taste, of their character, of how their lives are, and so it takes a lot of intuition, a lot of communication, and that kind of thing, which I didn't think about at all. So, okay, awesome. Thank you, Ksenia. That's kind of fascinating. Marianne, your turn.
All right. I would say teaching in architecture discipline is totally different with the other discipline because it needs a lot of skills, and you know, the point is majority of the design studio instructor are not really receive any in advanced training to be a teacher. For example, being a well-known architect does not guarantee a good teaching or a good teaching practice. That's why for me, teaching design studio is more than that. I mean, it's something that we have to develop a personal philosophy of being a teacher as a negotiator, someone who should make a decision. I mean, decision making in studios routine is necessary, but not everybody really consider that. The typical of the design studio instructors like enforcing the curriculum or design standard into their typical teaching routines, but and perhaps you know, including the specific chemistry of students' ability. They may know students' abilities, but it doesn't guarantee the outcome of studios is great. So you may find out this the quality of the architecture and building environment, you know, going down and down because of the higher education suffer of a gap of how to teach new generation of the architect. So for me, I feel like the in addition those 10 skills that you say, I mean, some kind of educational knowledge is also necessary. Who is teacher as a perception of the self-observer, self-efficiency, self-responsive to the situation, and how you involve students in that process is art of teaching, which it's difficult to believe that everybody possesses that.
Absolutely, Marianne, you bring up some excellent points. Very interesting that you're because you're focusing on that specific area of teaching. And yeah, thank you. That was really well explained and nice points. And I've put the last point, self-awareness, which I think you've added in like lots of things to do with yourself. So really interesting. Thank you. Natasha, your turn.
Okay, maybe first of all, according to this task which researchers have in my country, we have to have good communication skills, because we not only have deal with one with other and with specialists, for example, from medical system or from education system, but also we have a lot of letters and different situations from people. I mean that we try to set different challenges about their health and about health of children and adolescents. So we provide solutions about these tasks, and also we have many negotiations. As one maybe as one of main task of specialist of my institution is create normative rules and technical regulations. So we also have to be overqualified and have the opportunity to be a good co-worker and colleagues and have network skills as well. According with the situation that we have a lot of job and a lot of task, we should to be a good. I mean that we should use time management, because without that we couldn't do all our jobs. So maybe we have to be a good problem solver as well, because sometimes we obtained really very difficult test and task, and we can imagine the solution previously, but we never don't know what we can obtain in the end of our research. So we have to be creative, and I said that I have lessons with my students, so I try to be a little bit funny. I mean, when I create my lectures, yes, when I create my lectures, I try to speak with them about difficult situation, but they are only children and adolescents, so they haven't vast knowledge in this field of knowledge while. So I try tell them difficult things easier language. You see, through maybe through funny stories about tell them about a situation from life, and I suppose that in this case they became understand better in this case, I suppose.
Thank you, Natasha. That was so many points. I really like the be funny aspect, because I think that's so makes you open to learning a bit more. All right, Raphael, your turn.
Well, as I already explained a little bit, my work is very complicated because since I have to work in an oil rig. On a oil rig, it's very difficult to cope with everyone aboard, because we have different mindsets working at the same place, and they have a lot of expertise. Some of them are 55 or maybe 60 years old, and they have a lot of expertise on what they are doing. But unfortunately, some of them, they don't understand that some standards must be obeyed and must be followed. They try to overcome these standards and literally do not respect them. But and my duty is to avoid this. My duty is to prevent that this happen. But I know I must be aware that that some topics of standards are too strict and can be overlooked in a way that would not affect the security and safety of everyone. So I need to have empathy, and a little bit of empathy, and understand what they are undergoing, because they have projects, they have deadlines to obey, and they have to manage to get the project done and get the installation done prior to the deadline. They would be fine if this don't happen. So yeah. But it's kind of complicated because they see me as the guy with the clipboard, or the always taking notes of what they are doing, and they some of them literally doesn't like me. They don't like, some of them don't like me. If they had opportunity, they would throw me out of the oil rig because of this.
Poor Raphael.
They have to respect me, but I know that some of them doesn't like. But
yeah,
it's part of my job, it's part of my duty, and I kind of addicted with that. And I'm kind of
addicted to that.
Yes, addicted to that. And I understand. I'm not really. At least in the beginning, I was more worried about that. But nowadays, I am more acquainted with them, and I don't feel any troubles.
Wonderful. That does sound like a tricky situation, especially when you have to make a judgment whether or not you need to enforce one of the rules or let it go, I guess. So, interesting, Raphael. I put discernment on that one, which is definitely something that no one else has mentioned yet. So, kind of unique, maybe. Thank you. Sana, your turn. Are you there? No? All right, Wilson, we'll go to you. Could you do your one for us?
Okay. In my area, I think we need to have many skills. I don't think I have all of them, but I'm trying to improve them. To sell, because we sell projects, I think negotiation skills are very important, okay? And then to make a proposal, a good proposal, writing ability, to present a proposal. It's generally in English, so the English speaking ability is a must. That's why I'm studying English now, or trying to improve my English. And nowadays here in South America, Spanish is starting to be a requirement, okay, for the management IT position, because we have a lot of projects here in Argentina, Colombia, Uruguay, and so on. And talking about presentation, to know the business, to speak the business language without using technical jargons. Is that jargons?
Yeah, jargon.
Jargon, yes. And for the project itself, planning skills, problem solving, critical thinking, I think so. For the team, leadership skills, because sometimes I have a 10 persons people or 50 persons team, and then we need to deal with these conflicts and this kind of thing. And for sure, to be, I think, a good skill, I think, as a manager, conciseness. Is that conciseness?
Being concise.
To be concise, yes, because sometimes you have few minutes, as I have now, to tell your ideas or to speak about an idea and to sell your thinking. So to be concise, I think it's a good skill.
Very, very true. Good point, Wilson. Being concise. I think some of these skills are really, really useful in other areas as well. But yeah, that's definitely some extra things you've added on. You've added on just different languages. So not only English and Spanish, but business language, which is quite cool as well. So thank you. Let's see if Sana's there. Are you still with us, Sana? I can't hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, really.
Hello.
Ah, you're there. Wonderful. Okay, so it's your turn. Tell us about your role. What skills do you need?
Yeah, being a teacher, I think that empathy comes first, because when you are dealing with the students, when you are dealing with children, so you have to understand what they are going through, and each word of yours, how it is going to impact on them and how it is going to affect their whole life. So I feel that empathy is the first thing, because with your words you can make them or break them. So it's very important to understand them first, being in their place, being in their shoes, and then the pressure that they are feeling, then you should set your expectation according to that. So that is the first thing. The second thing that is again connected, as I was saying, that you need to know how to say and what to say to the children. So communication is very important. As a teacher, it's very, very important. As a mother, it's also very important, because you know how your tone, your words, your selection of words, your selection of tone, your intonation, your pronunciation, everything, how it is going to affect your child and the children that you are dealing with in a school. So something very, very important. And as a teacher, you also need to deal with parents. So when you have parent teacher meeting, or the parents come to you and they want to know how their child is doing in class, so you need to effectively tell them the strengths, and do not mention the weaknesses of the children as weaknesses, but the areas of improvement. So your selection of words are very important, and the way you say it to the parent is also very important. So I think being a teacher, you have to deal with children and all the time, and with parents. So communication is the the second most important thing, because first is empathy, of course, because you need to understand the parents' feeling as well. If you are going to say anything to them which is going to hurt them, that is also very important, that you need to understand. And then writing, yes, you have to reply to emails all the time. You need to write lesson plans, and you need to communicate with your team leaders and principals and headmaster and mistresses. So you need to have that skill of writing. Otherwise, if you're not going to say your ideas clearly, succinctly, then you will not be able to, you cannot expect good results and productive results. And that is one thing. You have to be creative as a teacher, as a mother. You need to present the same old ideas and same old things in more creative ways every day. If you're going to be non-creative in this department, then your child will get bored of doing the same thing again and again. And if there will be a good display to the old things, a new display to the old things, they will definitely turn to it. So I think, yes, you need to be very, very creative. And what more? You need to have your subject knowledge. You need to have your confidence. Can't be built up just on empty blocks. On hollow things, it can't be built on. You need to have something to be assertive and have confidence on. So your subject knowledge is very, very important here. So if you have that subject knowledge, and you know what you are teaching completely, then definitely you have that confidence to speak out, and you can be assertive. And definitely these two qualities are very, very important to manage the routine of the children, to go according to the timetable. At home also, you need to set their routines. You need to have the self confidence. You need to display those things, whatever you are doing. And very importantly, you need to be a role model to them. If you're not going to be role model to them, you're not going to do what you are teaching, then don't expect anything from your children as well.
That is the best point you've mentioned, Sana. I think that's an awesome one. I agree. Sometimes it's hard you forget to do that, or at least I do when I'm teaching, and I think, because I think kids always are absorbing everything, not just what you say, but what you do, right?
So yes, these are the things, and time management is very, very important. You have to be within time. If you are going to go too long or too short, definitely your audience is going to lose your interest. So lose their interest. So in this case, these are children. So if they are going to lose their interest once, they'll lose the interest forever. So you need to, yeah. So yeah, That's it from my side.
Thank you, Sana. That was a lovely way to end the class. Also, I love the way you've added in being a mother, because that is a very important job as well. And definitely you need a big skill set for that, or a father, I guess, a parent, let's say. Thanks, guys, for sharing. I've really learned a lot from today, so it was really interesting for me. I hope you have too. I hope you have a wonderful week. I might see you again tomorrow. If not, have a great weekend. Take care.
Take care, Amy.
Thank
Goodbye.
Bye. The biological garbage, the way to get rid of it, and safety in the job environment. A lot of things, how to report an accident, but it is mandatory, you know. When the city hall offer those things, we have to go, and they give us a certificate. They call it a benefit, continuous education. But there was an upside. The breakfast was great, and I saw my colleagues. The coffee break. Sorry, not the breakfast. The coffee break.
So the coffee break was the best part of the day. That's often the case for me, funnily enough.
Yeah,
Anna.
because we could catch up with one another, you know,
Yeah.
and
Socialize.
Socialize, and there were delicious things there, a huge table. So
Excellent. So that is one of the perks from having to attend these sports to this verbling class. My name is Teacher Amy, and today's class is going to be mostly a speaking class. We have got an article that we're going to have a look at, and the theme or the topic for today is skills that you need at your work that are not related to your job. So these kind of things could be anything, really. There's a lot of different skills that could be out there. Obviously, you know, if you're a doctor, you need to know about the human body. But what other skills do you need that are really, really important that maybe other people don't realize? What kind of skills do you need if you're a teacher? Obviously, you need to know the subject that you're teaching, but what other skills are really important? So that's what we're going to be talking about today, among other things related to jobs and work. So if you would like to join us, then come along in. While we're waiting for everybody, what we'll do is I'll just let you know that there are a few useful web pages that you might like to check out if you have a few minutes to spare. And these are basically where you can find out more information about the teachers. Slightly boring lectures. Well, I'm glad. So Anna, I'm going to type everybody's profession into the chat box. So could you tell everybody what your profession is?
I am a dentist, but not a common dentist, because after I graduated, I studied for 3 months and I took a test to become a civil servant, and I work in a strategy from the government called ESF. So I am a dentist, like a family dentist, you know, because I work in a attached territory.
Okay. So I'll try and describe that as best as I can. Maybe that's a good
here we go, dentist from the ESF.
Okay.
I don't
wonderful.
know.
Well, I've kind of put it more descriptive, just so that people who arrive and not sure what that is can see that you're sort of maybe a public dentist related to government work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
All right, wonderful to have you, Anna. Welcome to the class. So you've probably seen the Verbling homepage and explored each section to see who's available. But if you do want to find out about one of the teachers, the best place to go is to their teacher page. And you can see mine in the chat box if you'd like to look at that. You'll see that you can watch some videos. You can see their timetable and their schedule, and most importantly, probably, you can write a message. So, excuse me, if you're interested in attending the classes or finding out about one of the teachers, that's probably the best place to go. And if you are a Facebook person, you might want to consider following some of us on Facebook, just so you can keep your eye on what's going on as you go through your week. If you check Facebook often, it might be a good way to keep you on track for your English. So, with that behind us, let's say hello to our lovely students for today, and we're going to find out, first of all, what everybody's job is. So that's our task for the first part of the class. So let's say hi to Anna first. How are you today, Anna?
Hello.
Nice to see you.
I'm happy. I'm happy to see you and to be in your class. I'm a bit tired because it's a humpy day, you know.
It's what?
Humpy day, Wednesday.
Humpy
Humpy
day?
day. Yes, American people call Wednesday humpy day.
A hump day.
Yes, because it's in the middle of the week. You know.
Ah, okay. I've never heard that before, Anna. In the UK, hump has a different meaning. Which
Yes,
I'll type in the. You know?
But it's because of the camel's back, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
the most tiring day of the
So
week.
it's like getting over the little hump, and then you go to the end of the week.
Yes.
I understand. Has it been a long day then? Have you feel like you've done a lot today?
Today I went to a lecture because yes, I had to attend. It was quite boring about the